Before we get started with today's interview, just a quick reminder, click the thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and ding the bell so that you don't miss any of the great interviews that we have coming up. Now, on to today's interview. Welcome back, everybody. Today, my special guest is Dr. Kevin Costley. His piece on the new festivals list is Raindrops on the Window. You can find it in his book, My Moving World. Thank you so much for being here today, Kevin.
Thank you for having me, Sam.
What a fun, catchy piece this is. It's a great opportunity for students to learn how to play staccato and to practice their two-note slurs. Talk to us a little bit about writing this piece.
Well, a lot of these will be similar. I realize they'll be similar, but I'm reinforcing elementary concepts. I like the rain now, although usually I haven't seen rain during and sun at the same time. It happens rarely, but it does happen. And you're out and it's sunny and the rain's starting to come down. To me, that's the most fun rain. But sometimes it's dark days, and I think it's just fun to have a fun piece that you can play on a rainy day.
And this piece is certainly fun and certainly catchy. So this piece has a lot of staccato touches in it. What are some tips that we can use when we're working with students to develop their staccato touch at the piano?
You don't want them to bang it, but you want them to be brisk and short. So a lot of it you just have to demonstrate with your hand, and they do one note at a time. With their 5 finger, their 4, their 3, pretend they're hot. It's hot potato, and it's going to burn your hand if you stay on it very long. So there's some visual images. If I had a hot potato, I could throw it to them. They'd catch it. And they used to play games like that back in the 1800s, from what I heard. They'd warm up a hot potato and throw it to somebody. You have to have a good mastery of staccato notes for this piece, because there's a lot of it. Then holding down both hands, it's 2 things they have to do. And I would only do it 1 line at a time till they get the first line or the first 2 or 3 or 4 measures. I don't see the music in front of me. Bum, 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 bum. First 2 measures right. If they get that right and articulate it right, they're going to articulate the rest. That's because there's more of them, and I have quite a lot of repetition in my pieces.
Excellent advice. I love how you drew in that imagery of a hot potato to really help us think about that staccato touch. What is some advice that will help us when we're working with students on those 2-note slurs that are so ubiquitous in the left hand of this piece?
Just isolated practice again. Don't let them go on to the whole piece till they can do it on 4 measures. And your whole lesson may be on those 2 measures with the proper touch down. I wouldn't say particularly on that harder, softer. I don't think I'd want to use those words. I can't remember. And, on the 5 finger is the weaker finger. They're not as strong as all these other ones. So to do a bum, they have to come up and come down. And on the pad of their finger, the 5, you have to practice doing a lot of 5s, kind of at a moderate tone. Then go 5, connect, and pretend your fingers just making a connection with your thumb and fly off the piano to begin with. They come down on the 5, so they've got to make a sound, and it may be a little too loud or too soft. So you finally come up with the sound they have. If they have a fingernail, they're going to be in trouble. Too much fingernails, And you do your body too. Down, up, down, up, down, up. And you might do a body thing. Down, up, louder, softer, louder, softer. Do some things like that. That's auditory. And then do it with your hand. But that is to really do that, rather than plunk, 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 which some kids will do, let them plunk it because they learn it. But then you want to try to correct that and make it a little more artistic, especially for a piece you play in public And sometimes we don't refine in piano lessons. We have a different goal for it, but when we're going to play this for public, you want to have a nice lilt with it.
Thank you so much. My guest today has been Dr. Kevin Costley. His piece on the new festivals list is Raindrops on the Window. You can find it in his book, My Moving World, available from fine music retailers near you. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank you so much for having me.